Hi there, welcome to Grocery Dad and welcome to the ultimate guide to shopping groceries on a budget. A lot of people realise they're spending more each month and eating less healthily than they want to. I was in the same position a few years ago, so in this video I'll walk you through exactly how my wife and I have cut our costs, improved our diet and made grocery shopping less stressful, all without sacrificing the food that we love. It's a simple system that anyone can use and I'll guide you through it step by step. If you follow these steps, you're going to have the confidence and the know-how to shop smarter, to eat better, and to save money while you do it. So, for some context, in January 2023, our children were 6, 5, and 1. As a family, we spent just over $200 a week on groceries, and that represented about 11% of our total household expenditure each month. Today, as you'd imagine, our children are 2 years older. Food prices have gone up, in some cases by well over 10%, but our grocery bill has gone up by less than 1%. That's not even $3 a week. And to achieve this, we've used the 3-step process I'm about to take you through. So first up, you need to figure out your real grocery needs. Do you know how much you're comfortable spending each week? Setting yourself a clear budget is the foundation. You might need to do some calculations first to see how much you have been spending, say over the last 90 days or so. So be sure you have a starting point from which to work. Then go ahead and set yourself a limit to help you prioritize and avoid overspending. The exact number isn't the most important thing to begin with, but tracking it week on week is really important. So if it's coming down to where you want it to, great. And if not, then you know you need to do more work on this strategy. I've worked in the food industry for over 20 years, but I still didn't realize how important this step was for a very long time. So don't be too hard on yourself if you're not quite there yet. Next, think about what you actually need in terms of your diet. Now, if you're feeding a family, meal planning around any allergies or dietary preferences can save you a lot of last-minute stress. And don't forget to make room for the things that you love. A treat here and there, whether it's chocolate or a fancy cheese, can stop you from impulse buying things that you don't really want, but which are potentially a lot more expensive. Remember, this isn't about punishing yourself, it's about balance. Finally then, before you even set foot in the store, shop your own pantry, which means looking at what you already have, planning your meals around those items, and then start to build your shopping list around the basics that you need to top up on. For instance, onions, garlic, stock, tins of pulses or beans. This work up front is going to stop you from doubling up on things you don't need, and it'll help you to rotate your stock so nothing goes to waste. In step 2 then, we come to planning your trip. I'll say this very plainly. Walking into a grocery store without a list is unwise, to say the least. I'm going to call out anyone who says that you can stick to a budget without a proper list in your hand. And I know it's possible to do a kind of rough list and just put down things like vegetables or meat, but if you want to get this right, do your list right. And that means putting carrots, spinach, zucchini, the specific things that go into the meals you're going to be making. Simply, the more detailed your list, the less tempted you'll be to wander aimlessly, throwing random things into your cart. Now, let's talk about timing. This piece of advice may vary a little from country to country, but in general, shopping later in the day is going to open up all those markdowns they do to help clear out their stock each day, especially on things like meat and produce. So if you have the chance to do it, go later on in the evening to take advantage. The last one here is to think about retailer brands. For a lot of products, you might actually be writing down Kellogg's or Heinz on your list. You know, that actual brand you plan on buying. But shifting your thinking to plan the product, say cereal or baked beans, is going to open up the door to those store brands that are a big, big money saver. They taste test these products all the time, and it's almost comical how rarely anyone can actually tell the difference. So take it from me, because I buy these things almost all the time now. It's going to bring your food budget right down if you can detach yourself from many of those brands that you grew up with. We still have one really important step to come, but I wanted to quickly say thank you for watching and supporting my channel with a like or by subscribing. Grocery Dad is growing, and I think that's because people like you want to think more about the food they buy and are looking for ways to spend less and still eat healthily. So I'd love to know what topics you'd like me to cover next year. More savings tips, more convenience products to avoid, or maybe something else altogether. Whatever it is, put it in the comments and I will read every single one to see how I can keep the channel interesting and engaging in the future. Okay, so once you've done all your planning, the third and final step is navigating the store itself. You need to be considering 4 things here. First of all, stick to the perimeter of the store as much as you possibly can. This is where you'll find fresh produce, meat, and dairy products. You don't need me to tell you these are the essential ingredients for balanced meals and for balanced diets. Secondly, and logically therefore, avoid the middle aisles wherever possible. The middle aisles are full of processed, overpriced foods you probably don't need. Also, thinking of the point I made just now about big brands, the middle of the store is pretty much just flooded with those big brand names, which will often have a lot of buy one get one free offers on these weird sort of varieties of those products. It's best to remember a lot of those products are only on the shelf because the suppliers have paid for them to be there. So it's just not something you want or need to be getting involved with if you're focused on bringing your budget down. Thirdly, when you're buying fruits and vegetables, shop seasonally as much as possible. When something's in season, it's fresher, it's tastier, and it's cheaper. As an example, strawberries in the summer are a bargain, but in winter you're paying a premium for pretty bland and tasteless berries that have traveled halfway around the world. Number 4, buy in bulk wherever it makes sense. Things like rice, pasta, and beans are often much cheaper when you buy larger quantities, and they last a very long time. This is where, if you've done your meal planning in step 1, you should be thinking about batch cooking. Soups, casseroles, curries, and so on. And then let these kinds of recipes guide any decisions you need to make in the store itself. And finally, bonus tip, it's really important here to celebrate your wins. You might not notice any big differences right away, but if you persevere, make little adjustments as you go, those small changes will soon start to add up. Every dollar saved is a dollar you can use elsewhere. And with so many opportunities to save that dollar, it'll quickly build up if you stay positive and if you stay committed. So there you have it, guys, the ultimate guide to grocery shopping on a budget. If you're ready to start saving, let me know what your favorite tip is in the comments. And if you found this helpful, you might also find this video interesting because it's all about how discount grocery stores could be another tool to help you save on your food budget. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again very soon with more Thought for Food. Take care.